Hey guys, so I just wanted to do this video kind of talking a little bit more about myself. As you can see from the title, it's about me, or an adoption story about me. And for anybody that didn't know, I was adopted. I was born in Omaha, Nebraska on a Native American reservation, so I am a registered Native American, and I have all this like blood work and registered number and all that stuff. To my birth mother, Laura Dale, and my name was Honesty Lane Dale. Obviously, by my name, it's not Honesty anymore. So at when I was born, my birth mother was an alcoholic. She's always been an alcoholic as long as my parents have known. And as long as the social worker that gave me them to them has known. She's had multiple kids before. I have a picture of her, and I have a picture of my half-brother and half-sister. I don't know what they look like now. I don't know who they are now. I don't even know if they changed their name. So she was an alcoholic, and every child that she ever had was taken away from her because she was incapable. She's like incapable of taking care of herself. As of right now, she is in a nursing home dying because she is an alcoholic and she can't function. After I was born, she dropped me off at a babysitter's, like probably around like 5-6 weeks, and left. Like did not talk to the babysitter, just left. And the babysitter, it was going on, night, and she couldn't get a hold of my mom. The cell phones, I don't think were around back then. It was 91, so. And so basically the social worker came and was like, we got to take this baby. Like we can't leave her with you, with the babysitter. So they took me, and my parents were foster parents at the time, but they quit being foster parents like a month before I came into the picture. So my dad had a social worker, who would give them the kids, the foster kids, and the social worker couldn't think of anybody besides my parents, the parents that I have now. And so he actually went to my parents' house because they didn't call him first. Woke him up in the middle of the night and was like, I have this baby. She needs a home. She's only 6 weeks old. We'll talk more about it in the morning. She just needs a place to be right now. And my dad was like, no, like, we told you no. We told you we were done, so no, we don't want any more kids. And he was like begging. He's like, she's going to go in a foster home, and we don't know what's going to happen to her after that. And she's only 6 weeks. And my dad was like, I'm sorry, no. And apparently, my dad looked at me, and I was bundled up in this little white snowsuit, and he saw my face, and he said, we're keeping her, and you're not getting her back. So that was that. I was with them ever since. They went through court to adopt me. I was adopted around 2, I think. My name got changed to Bekahmariie Belcher, and I also never saw my birth mother after that again. I saw her once in court. Apparently, she was talking to me in Native American language, and they were basically saying, they basically thought she said, like, have a good life, like, that was it. And other than that, I haven't really had any questions other than why, like, what kind of human being are you to do that to yourself? But I mean, I don't care. So that was that. That's my really, like, adoption, I guess. It's not really anything like big and spectacular, but a lot of people would assume because I was adopted, I was put in a foster home. No, I was never in a foster home. I went straight to my parents, and they weren't even registered like foster parents at the time. So I stayed with them until they adopted me at 2 years old. And my dad, the chief of the Native American reservation, could have told my parents no. He said he could have told them that she is ours and you cannot take her. And my dad said if that was the case, he would take me to Canada, and my parents we would live in Canada. And I was like, that's crazy. But the chief said, she's obviously in a loving family. Just take her. Like, this is where she's meant to be. And so my parents didn't even have a really, like, a big court case. The jury was like, you can have her. She's obviously in a safe place. She's yours. And after that, I've been with my parents ever since. And it wasn't really ever a thought in my head that I was adopted, because I knew I didn't look like any of my brothers and sisters, but I never thought that I was, like, adopted. I never thought twice about it. Like, this was my family, and that was it. Like, there wasn't any other family that I knew of. So, to me, being adopted isn't a big deal. If somebody asks, like, you know, and then I'll say, yeah, I was adopted, or it was sad that I was born into the kind of, I was born with alcohol fetal syndrome, if that tells you anything about the type of person my birth mother was. And I don't drink because of it. I just stay away from it just because, not because, also because my family is Christian, so we don't drink. I grew up in a family that doesn't drink beer, they don't smoke, they don't do cuss, they don't do anything like that. So I grew up in that kind of family. And so I never really drank until I moved out. I was buying myself, like, wine, and other than that, that's the only thing I would ever drink, and I would only have, like, one glass of, like, a month. Like, that's just how much I would drink. I couldn't stand that taste for some reason, but I don't want to go down that lifestyle. And the fact that it's never been introduced to me before. When I married into Dan's family, everybody drinks. Like, his whole family drinks. They drink for no reason. And so I love his family. So to me, it's just the norm. But it's crazy to think that one split second change and my life could have been changed. And you don't really think about that kind of stuff until you sit down and think about it. But I'm happy where I am now. My parents are my parents. I've never thought of anything different than that. I do wonder where my brothers and sisters are. My half-brother and sisters. But every time I've tried to find them, I come up empty. And I'm also not really that interested in finding them. I don't want to sound mean, but they're not a part of my life. Like, I have brothers and sisters. And I have nieces and nephews. And that's my family. I don't have a reason to find anybody else. My adoption story, I don't talk about it really unless somebody asks, but if you ever, like, thought that I wasn't adopted, well, I am. I was never in a foster home, so that's one thing. But I love the family I'm in now. That's the only family I've ever known. So I don't really consider myself adopted. I am adopted, but I guess I don't consider it as big a part of my life as some people might, because I don't know anything different than the family that I have now. So I have really bad gas right now, so I'm, like, kind of, like, holding it in. So I will talk to you guys later, and I guess that's it. So, bye.